What up, YouTube? Corbin here. So for this video, it'll be kind of different than the informative videos I've done in the past. This will be more kind of just my personal opinion on a subject, and that subject is the new Classic Physique division in the NPC and IFBB. For those of you guys and girls that haven't heard of that, it was basically designed to bridge the gap between men's physique and bodybuilding. A lot of the men's physique pros were getting too big, like honestly bigger than a lot of the bodybuilders. Not like the IFBB bodybuilders, but just bigger than, your average definition of a bodybuilder and all that. The division was originally designed, to kind of be a more symmetrical, aesthetically pleasing type of physique with just overall good shape. Just good structure, small waist, wide shoulders, and all that shit. But over the years, the physique kind of the division got more and more extreme. With each passing year, a lot of the top physique pros kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, to where a lot of them just looked like bodybuilders at that point, and could probably compete in most NPC local bodybuilding shows and take first place and all that. So yeah, the division just got bigger and bigger and bigger. More people started doing that as opposed to bodybuilding, just because not a lot of people wanted to take enough steroids and pro hormones to get up to like 280, 290, 300, and then compete at like 240, 250, 260 or something. I've no disrespect to anyone that does that. You guys put in the work. I have all the respect in the world for you, like guys. We're all in a similar sport, just different goals. So I respect the work for sure. But I realize that not everyone wants to be 300 pounds of muscle and all that shit. And so that's why I think the Classic Physique divisions will be so awesome, because it'll give the people a chance to compete in something that they may not have previously competed in. I know a lot of guys that are interested in competing, but they don't want to do physique just because they think the whole like board shorts thing is like all lame and stuff. But they don't want to get big enough to the point where they'd have to get to do well at like the bodybuilding stage, as far as like NPC and IFBB and all that. And if they're not natural, they can't do a natural org as well. So then this leaves them in this kind of weird limbo of not ever wanting to compete, just because they're too big for physique, don't like the board shorts, and they're just not big enough for bodybuilding and don't have a desire to be that big. So now this little division will kind of give them a middle ground to shoot for, which would be awesome. Only kind of issue with it is in the description, it said that they want you bigger than physique, but not as big as bodybuilding. But they do want you to have like, small waist, wide shoulders, overall more aesthetic features. And obviously stuff like aesthetics, small waist, wide shoulders, that's completely genetics. You can't really train for your aesthetics. You can train to get bigger and gain muscle, which if you naturally have an aesthetic looking structure, that's going to make you more aesthetic. But if you have like this super blocky ass waist, like just a weird looking not round chest or whatever, you're not all of a sudden gonna get aesthetic out of like nowhere. You're kind of have to work with what you're given, as much as it sucks and all that. So for guys that still have that kind of middle ground muscle, to where they're too big for physique but too small for bodybuilding, if they still don't really have that small waist structure aesthetic look, they're still kind of screwed, I guess. So there's that into consideration. Probably the biggest thing, though, I'm most psyched about the introduction of the new division is that it'll take away, or it should take away, a lot of the mass monsters from the physique class. And if not actually forcing them to switch, maybe they'll start marking down their placings in physique just for being too big, which will kind of, give them the assumption that I should probably switch divisions if I want to start placing well, because I'm getting too big for physique and all that. So I think for guys like me and myself, this will benefit us greatly, I'm thinking. I've been told by a lot of people that I have a pro caliber physique in men's physique, and that I should give myself a shot on a national stage to win a pro card and stuff. While winning my natural bodybuilding pro card is definitely my main goal and still my biggest goal right now, I definitely have considered the option about trying out physique as well and trying to get a pro card in that. I've always thought that, if judging went in my favor that day, I could end up walking away with pro card. You know, they'd have to be looking for more symmetrical, proportional, aesthetic, and overall just like lean physique as opposed to all out mass. I've never done a national show, but I do know that I'd probably be one of the smallest guys on the national stage, just based on pictures that I've seen, people that I know compete nationally and all that. So if I did compete and get a pro card, it would definitely be because of my shape and leanness and all that, not anything to do with my actual size. But even still, you know, if it took me, it could take me 1 show, 5 shows, 10 shows, whatever. I do think it could potentially happen. But yeah, even still, I don't know where I'd really go from there. Even if I was fortunate enough to win a pro card in men's physique for the IFBB, I just don't have enough size to hang with a lot of those top guys like Sadiq and Jeremy and stuff. And being natural, you know, I'm probably never going to get that size either. It's not going to have to put on like 15, 20 pounds of muscle in the next like year. That's definitely extremely unrealistic given my situation and all that. So while it would be awesome to win a pro card in that, I don't know if I'd have much potential in the pro stage as far as doing anything more with that pro card, just because of all like the really big ass guys that resemble bodybuilders that are doing well at the physique level. But with this new division, hopefully a lot of those top physique pros that are really fucking big will be forced to move to classic physique, which will make room for myself and other naturals and other guys, maybe other guys that aren't even natural, but guys that just have a similar level of development as me and would win based on more of their just shape and structure and all that. So this now gives us a chance to not only win our pro card in the physique class, but potentially even do well on the pro stage and maybe, you know, be a top pro like later on down the road if we have the, you know, good enough shape and conditioning and all that. So I'm kind of looking at it in the long term with that. You know, obviously this is all speculation. It's all very, very early. So who knows what they're going to be looking for exactly in regards to size when it comes to the classic physique. If it ends up being that they still want guys that are bigger than current physique pros and smaller than current bodybuilders, I feel like it's going to put us back at square one, not really solving any issue at all there. So I hope that's not the case. But if they do want guys that kind of resemble current top physique pros that are like placing top 5 at the Olympia, so if a lot of guys make that switch over, I think that'll be great for the physique division, the regular physique division in the long run, to kind of return more to its roots about more just overall an aesthetic, pleasing look as opposed to just now where like the top 5 Olympia guys are fucking shredded as fuck, super massive, which is definitely fine. You know, I'm all about being a natural bodybuilder myself. I know all about trying to get as shredded as possible while keeping all of your muscle and stuff. But at the same time, I do think it's kind of veered away a little bit, away from the original goal of what it was supposed to like set out for. As like I said, it's gotten closer to bodybuilding year after year. So really, I'm hoping this will basically do what it's supposed to be doing and bridge the gap. You know, me myself, I would love to compete in the classic physique division. I think it's kind of made for a physique like mine with the small waist, wider shoulders, more aesthetic look and all that. But same predicament with the physique class now. Like, I don't know if I'd have enough size to do well, regardless of how good my shape is. Even if I did, like, have enough size to maybe get a pro card or something, I don't think I would just have enough size to, you know, do much more than that. And so I think a lot of the top physique pros, like currently, can make great classic physique guys. Like guys like Sadiq. Yeah, he's packing a fuck ton of mass, one of the biggest guys on the physique pro stage, but he still like has his small waist, wide shoulders, pretty big quads from what I've seen. So in my opinion, I think a guy like that would be perfect for this new division. But just because you're a top physique pro doesn't mean that would make a good classic physique competitor as well. You know, some of the bigger physique pros, you know, maybe they'll have a lot of muscle, but maybe they do a lot of clever posing with their angles to kind of hide their waist a little bit, and it's not as small as you would actually think. But with the classic physique poses that I've read that have been like front double bicep, back double bicep, side chest, I think maybe 1 or 2 others, it's pretty hard to hide your waist when you're like just letting it all completely out from the front and back, like no angles really. So you're really gonna have to have a small waist. good structure to do well. So just because you have a lot of muscle development and do well at the current physique level now, I don't think that automatically means you'll do well at the classic physique. Just it's going to be even more based on proportions, I think, than current physique is, just because with the more bodybuilding style of posing, you know, you have more muscles coming into play. So really it's gonna really reward the proportionate people, I'm thinking, and all that. So with that being said, you know, if they introduce it to the natural organization, you know, that'll be something interesting as well. I'm not saying I won't ever try the classic physique division. It just kind of depends on the exact judging criteria and what they're looking for. But for the time being, I am planning on sticking with natural bodybuilding and getting my pro card in that first and foremost, and then trying to get my pro card in men's physique for the NPC and IFBB afterwards. And about classic physique, like I said, it just kind of depends on how the next year goes, about what they're looking for, and how the division takes off. But I'm open to making it happen, just kind of playing it by ear, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Gave you my thoughts and opinions. I'll do some more informative videos coming up, like I have been doing. And quick thought, I have started my prep for my natural bodybuilding pro qualifiers next May. So soon enough, probably at about 30 or 24 weeks out, I'll start doing like weekly video logs with my progress update, you know, how I'm progressing week to week with like my diet and all that, you know, my current physique status, as well as just like kind of my current thoughts and opinions and all that. You know, you hear all this like contest prep logs about what I'm doing for diet, what I'm doing for like training, but not a lot of people give you that kind of that inside scoop on like the mental thought process, the mental aspect, the mentality behind everything. Clearly, when you're prepping for a show, there's a lot of second guessing, a lot of kind of doubt in your mind, just a lot of stuff on your mind in general. It's a fucking stressful time. It's a very, very hard process and stuff. So I plan on giving you kind of an insider scoop about the mindset of a prepping bodybuilder and kind of what goes through our minds as we get leaner and leaner and get closer to the show. So I'm hoping that'll help you, either current bodybuilders, current bikini competitors, whatever, or aspiring competitors as well, to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect moving forward if you really plan to be serious with it and all that. So yeah, that's that, guys. Leave comments below for any videos you want to see in the future. And as always, my email is below for if you're interested in online coaching, contest prep services, and all that stuff. So feel free to reach out and subscribe if you guys want. Other than that, until next time, guys, thank you.